Hello YouTubers, I'm gonna share one more issue with you that I developed with my Onan Marquis Gold generator just recently. If you remember, about a year ago or so, I developed an issue where I just bought this motorhome from a guy, and I guess he mixed up the wires right in that area, and it took forever for me to figure out what was wrong with it. It gave me error 14 code. I replaced a bunch of stuff before I finally figured out that it was the wires. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can see my old video. But today, what I want to share with you is another problem that I developed, like I said. So I haven't used this generator in a while. I did try to use it once in a while for a few and let it run for a few minutes just to prevent the fuel from clogging up in the carburetor. And then when I went out camping about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I turned on the generator, did my thing, and then about 15 minutes later the generator would die. And I wouldn't be able to turn the generator back on until everything cooled off again, which took about 15 to 20 minutes. It would work fine for another 10-15 minutes, and then it would die off again. There were no codes thrown at me. It might be because I replaced the original motherboard with an aftermarket one that doesn't really throw out much codes. I don't know if that made a difference. I don't know. But yeah, no codes. It would just work fine for about 10-15 minutes, and then it would die off. It wouldn't be able to start it. So talked to my mechanic buddy, and he suggested replacing the carburetor, or at least cleaning it up. I just replaced it a year ago, and it kind of sucked to have to buy another one because it's like over 200 bucks. So I tried to clean it up the best as I could. I'm not really that much of a mechanic, but it's a pretty simple procedure. If you guys never done it, it's very easy to do. So there are a couple of clips that you just push out of the way. Here, one here. You just push down. You take this cover off. You take the air filter off. You unscrew this, and this, and then you would take that cover off. And then it would give you access to the carburetor. Right here you can see the bottom portion right there. And to take the carburetor out, you just unplug this, unplug these two, unplug this, and then that hose right there, you also just unplug it and just kind of pull it down. And then that little right there, that little spring thing right there, you just take that out. It's very easy to do, and then the carburetor just slides right out. I unscrewed the bottom half, used my air gun to kind of blow everything out, clean it up with the gasoline as the best I could, put everything back together, and just let it run today. Today was my first time, and I got a little discouraged at first because there was a bunch of black smoke coming out from the pipes. There were a little droplets of fuel dripping from there, kind of spraying. I thought maybe I didn't screw it tight enough, but when I turned off the generator, turned it back on, the smoke miraculously went away. There were no more fuel spilling from there. So I don't know what happened. I guess it cured itself. And then yeah, everything just started working just fine. So I had the generator run for about half an hour now. It worked just fine. I loaded it as much as I could, turn on the air conditioner, coffee maker, whatever everything I could to give it the maximum load, and it worked just fine. So it's set maybe for a couple of minutes now. It's still pretty warm. If the issue is not fixed yet, I wouldn't be able to start it right now because, like I said before, I had to wait at least 15 minutes for everything to kind of cool off before it would start again. So it seems like the problem is fixed, but we'll find out. So let's start it. Looks like the issue is solved. Works just fine. Let's just try it one more time to start it to make sure it's not a fluke, that it's still working. Works just fine. I wouldn't be able to do that beforehand. So the clip came off, so I'm gonna tighten it again. Yeah, so there you go, guys. If you have the same issue, if your generator works for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes and then just dies off and you can't start it, it might be a bad carburetor, a plugged up carburetor that you may need to clean up, or you may have to replace it. But before replacing it, I would definitely try to clean it up and see if that makes a difference, because they're not cheap. Like I said, they're over 200 bucks, and if cleaning helps, then there you go, you saved 200 bucks. Alright, I hope that video helped you guys, and hope your generator is working now.